On a lower time frame, though, because of RSI indicators, it looks like we were due for a local pullback. Okay. Let's see. Where's RSI? Okay. So inside the Discord, we've been talking about after this nice leg up higher from basically down in here where we did a false breakdown. We reclaimed the bull market trend, broke the downtrend. Our RSI this whole time slowly climbed up into overbought territory. So because we came into overbought territory on the daily time frame, on a lower time frame, we were expecting some type of pause, some consolidation, some pullback before the continuation leg up higher. Okay. So even though we have this RSI overbought, as you see, as it got overbought over here on this move, right, up into its all-time high push from down in here, right? The reason we expect another leg higher is though the daily RSI is overbought right now, okay, and we're taking a pause and we're likely get a little pullback into this demand zone, which I'm going to go over. On the weekly time frame, our RSI is not even close to being overbought. Okay. So on this same move to all-time highs, as you saw the daily RSI top out, we were just looking at the daily, it was overbought here. The weekly was also overbought. Okay. Yeah, the helmet. the beanie banger. So notice that the daily and the weekly RSI was in overbought territory on this move. So this should have been, basically a sign that, yeah, you should be taking profits. You should be getting out of positions. You should be making some money on this leg up from this 8-month range of death from here, this move up higher. On that whole move, once you get up into this overbought on the weekly, you're looking at that saying, okay, we should be taking profits here because on a higher time frame, we're overbought. So here's the difference between that move and this move. Well, over here, right, so let's go back to daily, right? So pay attention. The weekly's overbought on this move, and so was the daily was overbought on this move, right? You see how it's overbought. On the most recent, it looks like a helmet. No, it's it's a beanie. It's not an actual helmet. Pax is over here saying I got a fucking helmet on. On the most recent move, yes, the RSI on the daily also became overbought, but much less than this move. The difference, though, on this one, though, is the previous move was also confluent with an overbought on the weekly. This most recent move is not overbought on the weekly. So that means there's still room on a higher time frame to get one leg up higher into price discovery. So that's what we're betting on. So because the daily on the lower time frame is overbought, we're expecting a local pullback, local consolidation, little cool off. But the weekly on a higher time frame showing us that we still got room to fucking move. We still got room to fucking rip here over the next month. Okay? So that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting a local pullback, long time frame, higher time frame continuation. Okay? So that's what the RSI is telling us. So if we go on a lower time frame, if we go into hourly, let's take a look at what the price action on Bitcoin's doing. So here's the mid range. This is the range, the all-time high range that we created, where we distributed over here, range low, mid range, top of the range, and we created this downtrend, broke the downtrend, re-entered the range. What did I tell you for the past couple of weeks? When you re-enter a range from below, you expect range highs because you got range lows. If you get range lows, you expect range highs. So what do? We re-enter the range, we reaccumulate right in here, and then we make a push up higher to what? Range highs. Who could have foreseen? Okay, this is very normal. So now we have range highs. Okay, who could have foreseen this? So what I'm expecting on this local pullback is, and it makes sense because we got this little demand zone that got created on the hourly chart right here. We rejected, who could have foreseen, right on the mid-range. Boom, it's resistance, you reject, you break through, you come back down and retest it and create it, what? Support. Look at that. Who could have fucking foreseen? Literally on the dot. Boom, reject, because it's coming from underneath, breakthrough, retest, pump. So it turned it into support. So what I was expecting on this pullback, we'll see. We might not get the full obvious pullback, but If we do get the full pullback outside of this just one little wick on the hourly, I would expect something into this demand and a retest of this mid-range. Okay? That's what I'm looking at on a, let's say, best case scenario pullback. So that would be the shallowest pullback I would expect. So why am I going over this? Well, if you're looking for opportunities to get entries into your favorite altcoins, now that you've missed that initial move off the lows, that was a fucking 2-3x ripper on most of these altcoins, this is the type of move I'm looking for to then position. You don't want to be the guy that doesn't position at the lows because you're afraid and you don't think the price is ever going to go up again. So you don't buy at the lows, but then you see price pumping. You see ETH run from 1,500 up to 2,600, and then you say, oh, okay, at 2,600, 2,500 ETH or 100, 3,000, 106,000 Bitcoin, now I'm going to get bullish after I miss the entire meat of the move. No, you got to be patient again. Okay, now you have to be patient, understand, well, another pullback will come. Is this going to be my opportunity to re-enter into my positions? So this is this is what I would be looking at for a move to the downside at the least, because this looks like distribution on a lower time frame. So basically we're distributing and then we'll start making this move back down lower. Okay. Worst case scenario, we get a move back down to range lows, which would be confluent with this bull market trend line because they're about to intersect here pretty soon. So watch this. Okay. So if we extend the lines out to the right, you see the diagonal from the bull market trend is eventually going to intersect with the range. Okay. So it would be confluent if we got a move like this, which would make sense because we got range highs. So this is worst case scenario I'm giving you now. So best case scenario, you come back down to this mid range, you hit this demand zone, you ape there, we break out to new all-time highs. Worst case scenario pullback that still is bullish long term, where we expect another leg up higher. The worst case scenario pullback would be something like this. It would be this move. So you hit range low, range high, then you would expect what? Range low again. So you bounce here, create a lower high, break down, and then range low. And look where that would put us. You would hit range low probably somewhere near this bull market trend, okay, because they're going to intersect eventually, where now you maintain the bull market trend. You also hit the range low one more time. This is your next ape spot. You ape here. Maybe something like that. New all-time highs. Okay. Does that make sense? You understand how the different levels are going to play out? So what I would do is I would wait for either the range retest of the mid-range or the mid-range retest. Or if we break down from the mid-range, worst case scenario pullback would be down to about 92, 93,000. Okay. Bounce off that bull market trend and continue upwards. When I turn bearish, I'm turning bearish at the loss of the bull market trend. Okay. Just like we did last time. This was a false breakdown right here. This was a false breakdown. Did we get bearish there? Yeah. Because technically, if we're looking at the TA, that's bearish. You're going to get a bearish underside retest. You're going to break down further and you go into a bear market. It was a fake out. Cool. So when do we get bullish again? As soon as we reclaim this line and we break this downtrend. And guess what we did? We flipped bullish. We opened up an ETH long. I have an ETH long open from about 1750. That's fucking printing up 3-4x right now on my position. So you turn bullish again and it works. We're bullish. Okay, so we remain bullish until we lose market structure again. Otherwise, we're good. So I'm just giving you the scenarios where you would be looking to bid. Mid-range retest and a bounce, or range low retest, bounce to new highs. That's where we stay bullish. Okay, so that's Bitcoin. That's Bitcoin analysis. One actually other thing I want to show you. Do we have the fixed volume profile? I'm also going to show you the fixed volume profile from the origin of the move. Okay, so just to show you the other point of confluence, where's fixed range volume profile. So from the origin of the move, from the pump, right? Go from the low all the way over. Fixed volume range is at 96,000. I do not expect coming below 96,000, even if we lose the mid-range. Worst case scenario, we get the range low, but I don't see this volume being broken down from. This is going to be a huge support level, okay? So we kind of grinded up into it, tried to break through, lost it again, broke through the second time, then we pumped, okay? Why is this significant? The most volume, the most buying and selling on Bitcoin over the course of this range, which was since November of 24, most of the buying and selling took place at $96,000, okay? So that's where most positions are going to be defended from a bull and a bear perspective, okay? So now that we're back above it, that means bulls are in control. The people who entered in Bitcoin at 96,000 are going to try to defend that level because that's going to be break even for them. So you're going to try to bid, open up longs, defend that position to push price back up higher. So that's very important that we were able to break back up above it and keep it below us so then we can use it as a springboard up to higher prices. We lose that naked point of control. Bears are back in control. We would retest it from the other side, and bears would be trying to short, sell, get that price to come down to defend their positions and get the price to come down lower. But now that we're back above it, beautiful. We want to stay above it. As long as we're staying above this, I'm not worried at all.